Hello, my friends. This is Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I am going through my good midlife crisis where I am journeying through my 40s and I am working so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today is Friday, December the 22nd, and we are going to be doing a financial health check-in. I am going to be budgeting out the money that you see above my head, $2,936.67, and we're going to be putting that into the different categories in my app. You can't see them because they are behind me right now, but you will see them in a second. The app is YNAB. This is how I digitally cash stuff my budget. I am a digital cash stuffer, not a cash stuffer, if that makes sense. If you are new, welcome. I am super excited that you are here checking this out. I hope that you find this information useful. Fair warning, I tend to talk a lot, but I hope you enjoy that, and I hope that we can become friends. If you are not new, welcome back. Super excited that you are joining me for the last budget of 2023, y'all. This is it. I do have another YNAB video coming out in 2023, but it will be for the first week of January because my January budget actually starts next Friday, which is technically still in December. But this is my last budget for December. This is it. This is the last one. And y'all, if you're coming back from last week, I spent some money last week, but I'm not surprised because I'm me and giving is my love language and it's the time for giving. I know I talked about the people in my neighborhood that we had decided to give to, but then my team decided to give a gift to my boss because she sent us all cookies. And my bestie, I was going to buy her a pedicure for her birthday, but she decided for the first time, I think ever, we've always kind of gotten pedicures for her birthdays. She decided she didn't want to do a pedicure this year. So then I had to scramble and find something else to buy her, which I did, and I delivered to her. It was kind of like a birthday Christmas combined thing. But I took that to her this week too. So there was some extra spending in there that I hadn't included. And then I know I talked about, and I'll get into this in a minute, but I know I talked about putting extra money into my dining out. I will tell y'all about that dinner. I had two really fun, I don't want to be rude to British people. There's a bad way to do that. There were um, two dinners that I had this past weekend, and they were amazing, both of them. I had an amazing time. Didn't get to see my niece. I think I might get to see her today for her birthday, which was last Saturday. I still have her birthday gift here, so I'm gonna go ahead. I still have my sticker, y'all. I kept my sticker, my they can't see you sticker, so I don't forget to shrink myself. I think everything seems to be working. I did a little test. I can hear me. I can see me. So hopefully my audio and my video issues are fixed for now until my computer does its next update, and then we'll try that again. Okay, we actually have quite a bit to budget out today. It's a payday, so I have my payday budgets, and then I have some extra debt I'm going to be paying on today because it's the last budget of the month. And let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, friends, here is my YNAB. If you're not familiar with this app, I don't really have time to go into my whole spiel that I normally do, but this app, y'all, I've been talking to people about this app. Like I always talk about this app. Like always, if you use YNAB, you know what I'm talking about. Like it just comes up in normal everyday conversations, like your budget and the app that you use and how amazing it is and how much it's saved your life. But my niece, I gave her access because you know how YNAB, if you're not familiar with YNAB has a YNAB together where you can, I don't think it's on here, but you can give access to up to 5 family members, I believe it is. Friends or family. I mean, they have to trust you enough to let you see their budget. So if they're friends or really close friends or family members, to let them use your YNAB. So I let my niece get on here because she's been struggling. As I've mentioned before, if you're not new, I do have a line item in my budget for my niece. There was a time when I did used to send her money on a very regular basis. Fortunately, she is not there anymore, but she is still struggling trying to get her budget together. She just turned 23 last week. I really want to get her where she can do her budget before I was, because I didn't start until I was in my 40. I was 40 when I started trying to budget. She's only 23. If she can get started now and I can help her out with that, then that's awesome. So I was talking to her about it, and if I see her today, I'll probably try to help her a little bit. I do have access to hers, but I will not get in unless she tells me, please go in and help me with this. If you want to share your YNAB, it's called YNAB Together, and you should be able to go into your account and add the email address of somebody that you want to give access to. You can allow them to see any of your budgets that you choose, but if you don't choose to allow to share, they won't be able to see anything of yours, but you will automatically have access to their budgets. So again, it has to be somebody that trusts you enough to let you see their budget or trust that you won't go in and look at their budget. My niece was my sister passed away, and my niece came to live with me, so my niece and I are very close. So I let her use my YNAB. That's the only person I have on my Together, but you can have up to 5. So like Nathan's kids, if they decide they want to use it, I would allow them. Nathan is my roommate slash best friend. I've lived with him for 10 years. So his kids I've known since they were very small. The oldest just turned 18. He's fixing to graduate high school. If he decides he wants to get on and you do a budget, I can also give him access to it. I'd probably also eventually gift each of these people their own YNAB subscriptions, but this way they can get in, play around with it, and see if they like it. Speaking of that, if you are interested in trying out YNAB for yourself and you don't have a friend who you trust, or a friend, not that you don't trust your friends, but a friend that you would want to join their YNAB and give them access to your full budget, you can try out YNAB for 34 days for free by using the link in my description. You will not even put in any credit card information, completely obligation free. If you don't like it, at the end of 34 days, you just stop logging in and it goes away. If you do like it, however, and you sign up using that link, you'll get an additional 30 days. So you'll get 64 days for free, and then they send me 30 days for free as a thank you for sending them a referral. So that is a good way to try it out if you don't have somebody who you can just join their YNAB. Okay. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, and then I just spent 10 minutes talking about it because I'm Becky and I talk a lot. I actually have quite a bit to budget, so let's go ahead. And I'm sorry for my voice, y'all. I don't know if I'm hoping it's allergies. It's raining, and it's, December, and I live in Texas, so it's cedar season, and I'm allergic to everything when it rains. So I woke up like this morning, so I'm really, really hoping that this is just allergies and I'm not coming down with something, because it's Christmas and I have plans this weekend. Nathan's parents are coming in. Jaden's here. Nathan's parents are coming in today, and we're supposed to go to Fredericksburg tomorrow to go look at the lights and do some shopping, eat some German food. Then Sunday, I'm supposed to go in to see my mom, go to church with her, and then we're going to do like turkey dinner, turkey and ham, because Nathan's dad likes ham. The rest of us like turkey. I mean, not that I don't like ham, but you gotta have turkey. And then Christmas Day, obviously. So I'm really excited, and I don't want to be sick. Okay, dining out. If you were here last week, you'll know I put an extra $50 in this category. Sorry, to cover my dining out for Sunday, because I was going out with my wine ladies. I ended up moving almost all of that out, all but $1.75, because when I went out to dinner with my wine ladies, I have celiac disease, which, for those of you who are new, I have to be very, very strictly gluten-free. And we went to a place that has gluten-free. They even have gluten-free pasta. They make their own in-home pasta. And it was all gluten-free. But somewhere along the lines, it got miscommunicated, and I ordered, I was told them I needed a gluten-free menu. Everything I ordered was gluten-free. I even ordered a gluten-free side of pasta. And when my meal came out, I had my gluten-free side of pasta, but my food was sitting on a pile of not gluten-free chicken, like not gluten-free pasta. Like it was just sitting on a pile of regular pasta. And I was like, okay, I can't eat this, because even if you take the chicken off, it's still cross-contaminated, because that matters. Like if you're being gluten-free just for dietary reasons, because it makes your gut feel better, I think a lot of people, like I know my cousin, she always says, I'm not celiac, cross-contamination is okay. And I'm that way with like my shellfish allergy. if you cook something with the shrimp, I can pick the food out. I don't know why, and eat it, and it doesn't affect me at all. Like, I'm okay with that as long as I don't eat the shellfish myself. I'm fine. But when it comes to celiac, if I eat something, if I were to eat the chicken that was sitting on that pasta, that would make me very sick. So they were very apologetic. They were like, I don't know how that happened. I'm so sorry. And they comped my meal for me, like my whole meal, my drink, and everything. Which I was not looking for. I didn't expect that at all. So I didn't end up having to pay anything for that dinner. And I still got to go out and have a wonderful time with my girlfriends. And I have a picture. I will post that picture. Georgetown is a suburb of Austin, for those of you not familiar with the Austin area. And they really do up their lights on the square. And this restaurant was on the square. It's called Juliet Kitchen, and it is actually fantastic. Every single thing I ate was amazing. The staff was amazing, other than this one little hiccup. It did take a little while, but we were a party of 10 on a Sunday night. So, I mean, that was to be expected at Christmas time. But the food was phenomenal. I had a drink called a limoncello mule, which I'd never even heard of before, but it was delightful. And they didn't charge me a penny, which I can't promise they won't charge you if you go, because I hope they don't mess up your order. But everybody else's order was perfect. It was just mine because of my dietary restrictions, so which you get used to when you have dietary restrictions. Anyway, so that being said, I did take the money out of here and use it to cover overspending in other categories. So I didn't end up spending as much money as I thought I would on my dining out category last week. Groceries, I did spend significantly more than I thought. I had put an extra $50 in here. I spent closer to $200, more than $150, because I had gone to the farmer's market and picked up some things. Like one of the things I got, this is not an advertisement, but this is really good. If I don't know if they ship everywhere, but he has all these flavors. Kelly's Killer popcorn. I picked up Jin's, my bestie, some dill pickled popcorn because she loves dill pickles, and it was her birthday that day. I got myself some honey sopapilla. They make it with local honey. It's so good. They just have regular honey. They have kettle corn. They had all these flavors. Let me see if I can find it, a website. I'll link it below, but this was really good. It's just, I didn't have it here to do an advertisement. It literally was sitting here because I was snacking on it yesterday, and this is my desk. That's why it's sitting here. I also got, if y'all have been around for a little bit, you know I love Sweet Charlie Girl, and it was Jin's birthday, so I had gotten a cookie cake from Sweet Charlie Girl, and they had merch. And so I got a little, this is Charlie. Sweet Charlie Girl is a gluten-free home baker. Well, I don't know if she's a home baker. I don't know, but her food is amazing. Her baked goods taste like food, which is amazing. That and Breadish are the reason I go to the farmer's market when I go. And I'm going to try to go tomorrow again, see if I can find any goodies for Christmas, but I don't know who else is going to be there. Anyway, that being said, I spent $200 on groceries last week. I know I need a couple of things, but I don't think I need a lot of things, so I'm just going to put my regular $100 in here, and hopefully I won't spend all of it. Every week, I give myself $10 for fun money. Normally, I put $60. I've been putting $60. I just upped it to $80 in my ecclesial expenses. This is my church donation, but I am not going to my church this week. I'm going to my mom's church. So I'm just going to put $20 in here to cover, I'm just going to put $20 in. My mom belongs to a much larger church. They own their building. They have a huge, like, they are not in the same position as my church, which is very, very small. Excuse me, and we rent a room in a hotel, like, as our meeting place. My mom's church, they own the building. It's a completely different situation. So when I do my church donation, I have to make sure that we're putting it enough to cover at least the expense of the room that we rented for the week. And then I like to have some extra to put in toward, like, the assistance fund to help out others, and the just to have a backup in case anything ever happens. But we want to at least be able to cover the room. For my mom's church, it's a completely different situation. So I can just put in $20 and save myself that extra $60 off of my weekly budget. Plus, I know we're not going out for dinner because it's on Christmas and I'm coming home and we're going to be making the turkey dinner. So I know I don't have to have a meal out. I am going to put my $15 into my coffee budget to refill my Dutch Brothers. And I ended up pulling like all of my money. I spent $23, 23, I think. What did I spend? $26.43 on gas, and the rest of it I pulled out and I used it to cover overspending. Like, Y'all, December. Now I remember why I like January so much, because I spend money in December. I'm going to add my usual 50. My car is about 3/4 full, but I know I have to go to Lampasas this weekend, so we'll see. I might need it. And then self-care gets $25 every time I get a paycheck. That is it for this section. Let's go ahead and fill my bills. The bills that are due, the way I do my budget, I have a weekly budget. It goes from Friday to Thursday. So for this week, it goes from the 22nd through the 28th, I believe. Yes, I'm trying to read my handwriting. I write out my budget on the Budget by Paycheck planner by the Budget Mom. I have a PDF version that I print out. I did just set up my one for 2024. I will link the video for that below. And if you're setting up yours and you need any supplies for it, I will put my Amazon links in the description box as well. Normally I link to my About page, and then that will take you to the link, so I'll just put them directly in this video as well, because I know it's the time of year where people are setting up budgets. So if you need anything from Amazon for your budget, the links will be in my description box as well. Okay, so the bills that I have to pay are my internet bill, which I have not had time to call and get this fixed. So it is $80.06. This month has been a whirlwind. I have no idea how it's the 22nd. I feel like it should be the 2nd. The consolidation loan. I am going to do my minimum payment, which is 160, what is it? $166.99, y'all. I pay extra every month by $167. But then I'm also going to put in my extra $133 to make a $300 minimum payment. That is my goal every month from here till it's paid off. $300 is my minimum payment that I am making. So this is my minimum payment plus my debt plus my extra debt. We're just going to go ahead and do extra debt right now because it is 7:50 and I have to be to work at 8 o'clock. I mean, I'm sitting in the chair, but I still have to be there. My Cinemark subscription is due. This is for the movie theater that is near my house. It is $6.48. It gets me a free movie ticket every other month, and then 20% off of my concessions and free. I don't pay any booking fees or anything online. So for $6.50 a month, it's worth it for me. There aren't any movies out right now that I want to see, so I have a couple of tickets built up, but when one comes out, I can use those tickets to buy. If I'm buying 10 tickets and I have 10 tickets, I can use them for whoever's with me. Like, I don't have to use them on myself. Water bill, I know how much my water bill is. It is $102.12. So I know that I have to put that in there. And then Seth's car payment is due. And Seth's car payment is the same situation. This was a reconsolidation loan, not a reconsolidation. We refinanced it. The old payment was $269.85. I'm sorry, the old payment was $327.25. The new $25.27. It's right here in front of me, and I'm trying to remember it. I was pretty close for trying to remember that off the top of my head, but I didn't have to because it's right here. The new payment is only $269.85. It only saved me $55, but it cut my interest almost in half, which was amazing, which is why I did that refinance. I'm going to go ahead and fund the whole thing. He pays me for this car. He pays me this full amount, so I pay the full amount to the car. This car should be paid off in October, y'all. My debt consolidation should be paid off by December. If I can pay it off earlier, my goal is debt no more in 24. I'll have my interest-free mattress firm, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. And then my mom's phone. This is the last month that I'm paying my mom's phone bill to the phone plan that it is on, which is the same as my internet company, which is why I'm kind of waiting to call them, because I'm going to cancel my mom's phone and then I'm going to see what that does to my internet and see what they can do for me, because I get $10 off on my internet bill because my mom's phone bill is on there. It is not worth $10 for me to pay $60 for a phone bill. I know I can pay $15 for it elsewhere. The contract ends this month, and I am going to call and cancel it after I pay this bill. So the rent is due. I know how much it is due, but it is not coming out until my next check. I think those are all of my bills. That is all of my bills. Okay, so everything here is funded. Everything else will be end of month. I pay rent at the end of the month. And so when you come back next Friday, hopefully my voice will sound better. Hopefully I will, actually, no, I feel like today's not rushed. I talk a lot. I'm always going to talk a lot. No matter when you come back, that's just going to happen. These are my cards. Everything on here, I pay all my cards off to zero. I did get my new HEB card in the mail this week. I talked about that last week, how I signed up because you get 5% back on all the HEB items. And most of what I buy, if I can buy a generic, I buy a generic. And so I get 5% back on all the HEB brand items that I buy. I was using my PayPal MasterCard to pay for my groceries because I was getting 3% back on my groceries. But I was like, if I can get 5% back on my groceries, that's better than 3%. Speaking of, I did get my cash back from Venmo. You know how you spend a lot of money when you get like 30 something dollars back from your Venmo card. I spent a lot of money last month. Anyway, I keep all of my cards at a $0 balance. The only exception is this Best Buy card that I just put this money on at Christmas time. This is zero interest. I have many, many months to pay it off. I think I have 12 full months to pay it off. It will be paid off in the next couple of months. Once I'm out of December in my super spendy time, this will be paid off. Anyway, I got my card in so that I paid that bill. The $7.58 was some cookie cutters I picked up from my neighbor. She was making some sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for her son's Christmas party at school, and she didn't have any. She was going to cut them out into Christmassy shapes, and she didn't have any cookie cutters that fit the bread. So I just ran to HEB for her and picked them up for her. And she offered to pay me back, but I was like, it was $8. I got you. So that's what that is. And I just did that, so it hasn't cleared yet. So that's why that's not paid off. Same with the Venmo. This $10 hasn't cleared yet. That's why it's still on here. Everything else is at a $0 balance. And then I need to put in for my savings. This is the last 52-week savings challenge, y'all. That's it. This is now on January 1st. Next week when you come back, I'm going to move this money out of my savings challenge, and this is going to become my emergency fund. And I am so excited to have an emergency fund. I guess technically I already have one. It's just called a 52-week savings challenge. Every single week, every single paycheck, I put $53 away. This is the challenge where you save the number of the week. So this is week 52 of the year for me. I should be saving $52 but I'm doing 2 weeks. So this is week 51 and 52. I should be saving $103. I knew when I started doing this and I started doing it last year when my budget was not as good as it is now because I'm just starting getting into budgeting. I knew that there was no way at the end of the year, in my most spendy time of the year, I was going to be able to come up with $103 on the last paycheck of the year. I probably actually could now, but last year there was no way I could have. So I decided to do it differently, and I do the first week of the year and the last week of the year. And that's week 1 and week 52. So that's $53. Then I do the second week of the year and the second to last week of the year. So that's week 2 and week 51, $53. Week 3 and week 50, $53. Week 4 and week 49, $53. It works out to be $53 every 2 weeks, which is how often I get paid. So that is how I was doing this challenge. Every paycheck, I put $53 into this challenge. My goal for this year was to not touch this money because last year I was doing this challenge, and then come the end of the year, I used this money to pay for the hotel for my mom and myself at the Thanksgiving gathering. And then since I'd already touched it, I just kind of used this money as my extra spending money for Christmas and traveling and all the stuff that I did. My goal for this year was to not touch this money, and I have managed to do that. If I can make it through the end of this week without touching this money, I will have met that goal for 2023, and I'm super excited. So anyway, that is that. And then my 2 great nephews, baby Joe, who is 1 year old, he gets Aunt Becky loves him a lot. And she does, but Aunt Becky can't afford to love him as much as that. I almost gave him $200 instead of $2. I save his age. He is 1, so he gets $1 every single week, so $2 a paycheck. And then his little brother, who is just a month old, also gets $1 a week because you can't. I'm just going to give him $100. Man, I'm feeling just super generous. I don't want to save $0 a week, so I'm saving $1 a week for him. I did the same thing for Joe. Once Joe is 2, I will save $2 a week. Same thing for Jet, and then $3 a week, and then $4 a week. Like I said, my nephew and his wife, at one point, were talking about having like 4 kids. I don't know that I can keep this up for 4 kids, but for right now, this is where we are. Aunt Becky can save $4 a paycheck for the babies. That's good. That's it. Everything else I have here is going to go into, let me just make sure I covered everything. Yep. Everything else I have is going to go into week 1. And I know, and I haven't responded to all the comments. I went through and responded to all of my health video comments, but I haven't gotten to all the rest of them yet. Somebody mentioned about clearing these out, and I'm thinking in 2024, I might just have a rollover and not a week 4. When I first set this budget up, I was trying really hard to figure out how to make a weekly budget work. And so I just did this because that's how it was working in my brain. But I know I don't need to do that now that I'm actually in practice doing this. So I think I might just have a rollover category and not a week by week category because it doesn't really make a difference which week it's going into. But anyway, as long as I just add if you're using YNAB, you have to hit the plus button, or you can come over here and they have the little categories here. You can do this if you don't want to use your keyboard. I have a 10 key on my keyboard, so it's easy. And then 774667, because otherwise it would just add that to this negative and it would give me the balance here. It would automatically balance it out. So it would have just given me $395.98 instead of $1,746.67 because it maths. Oh my goodness, y'all, it's exactly 8 o'clock. We made it. Okay, that's it, y'all. That's my last budget of the year. That's it. How was your December? Do you have another week in December? You probably do because it goes all the way to, the 31st. All right, I'm going to go because I have to go to work. I love you so, so much. Thank y'all all for such an amazing year. I was monetized this year. I should have another check coming in January, which I already have plans for. January is going to be a low spend month for me. I know Liz at Budget and Balance is doing a no spend month. Michael over at Midlife Money Moves is going to be joining us, and he's going to also be doing a low spend month with us in January. If you want to join us in this low spend January challenge, it helps get yourself back on track after you've been super spendy over the holidays. And even if you haven't been and you just want to see if you can do a low spend month or a no spend month, I hope you join us. Let me know if you're going to join us. Leave me a comment, give this video a like. If you're not already and you want to get me something for Christmas, you can subscribe. That would be fantastic. I love you so much, and I hope y'all are having a fantastic day, a fantastic week. I hope you've had the best year yet, and next year is even better. All right, y'all. I will talk to you later. Bye.